Today's day 2 and I'm out here with Claire. Hey sweetie. We are going to do some painting today since I got a bunch of stuff pulled out. I might yank some stuff out too, but I think today's mostly going to be cosmetic stuff. We're going to be painting the car. Claire's starting on scuffing the front fender. Of course you got to scuff up your paint a little bit. You know, we're not doing this fancy, but I do want my 1 or 2 coats of paint to stick at least a little bit. I cannot remember if I showed you guys the engine bay. Isn't it glorious? I don't think I'm going to do much in here. I might clean it a little bit. I am going to pull anything unnecessary like the AC out, but I will take my time making that valve cover look really, really nice just because I like valve covers to look pretty. I want to make the hood look good, so I am going to pop it off. It's just going to be easier too. She's got that fender all scuffed up and doing some taping now. I decided I'm going to pop that front bumper off just to make things a lot easier for myself. We got the bumper cover off and one headlight. Claire's continuing to tape and sand. I'm going after this one, so it's got bolt here, and then there's one here. And then there's one here and back in there, I believe. This here's a fender liner. It's supposed to keep dust and debris and mud from getting up in the engine bay. Also helps with noise control in the cabin. Obviously, we are not worried about that in the slightest.
"20 minutes later."
I know in the last video I mentioned something about my hubris. Now I have done rattle can, flat black, flat gray paint jobs on an entire car before, and I made them look pretty good. What you do is you spray down some heavy coats, you do a little wet sanding, and you can usually even it out pretty good. But I didn't take into account the fact that that is not dark. That's a light color. And I've never tried to do a light color before in flat rattle can. Am I confident that with some work I could get it nice and smooth? Yeah. Do I want to do that? No. So it looks like Altimageddon is going to be staying black with a flat black fender, and I think I showed you this, but driver's side rear door is like a beige type color, so that's going to be flat black as well, and we're going to focus instead just on some graphics and stuff on the side. Unfortunately, that means that I took my hood off for no reason at all. I do have to give it to Nissan though. The fender liners and the mud guards and everything else that was on the bumper and all that, that was all screws instead of plastic clips. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with a quick little layer of Project Source. I think it's the Lowe's brand flat black, which is probably maybe going to conflict with the Krylon or whatever I use next, but it's one way to find out. One quick coat of my flat black is still not completely even, but flat black is cheap, readily available. I can lay a bunch of coats on this, and then I can wet sand it real good. And if necessary, if it looks too odd on the car, which, I mean, it's a hot rod, so it might be better to not look right, but if it doesn't, I'm going to slap some clear coat on top of that, because clear coat on top of flat actually looks pretty cool. At this point, I really just don't know. Altimageddon is going to sort of come together organically, I'm hoping, and in the end, it's going to look really cool. But I guess we won't know until we get there. Since I'm not going to be painting the whole car, I guess grab them without scratching them up. I'm going to go ahead and put my lights back on. I lost a bolt. That happens a lot. Because this is South Louisiana, it's really hot. So I'm gonna go in the house for a minute and work on something I was messing with my vinyl cutter logo for the hood. We're in my little office or workshop, whatever you want to call it now. Oh Lord, he treading. I wanted to show you. That was the concept that I had, okay, before I gave up on the paint. So it's not going to be a whole lot different, except that it's not going to be tan. Got my vinyl cutter out, and there's something I've been working on, but I'm not going to show you just yet. I'm going to cut it and then put it on the car. I'm going to use cream vinyl just because I would never use this for anything else, and it does not matter because this is just going to be a mask for painting. Right now I'm fixing a stupid mistake, which is something I do all the time. You might, or might not, I don't know, I'm not you, wonder why I did this. I painted the front of the hood flat black. Well, you're about to find out. I didn't shoot a montage of this as I was doing it because there's going to be a reveal in a second, okay? Just hang on, hang on, hang on. What I'm doing right here is I'm going to paint this green to match the hood, the stripes, the new graphics on the hood. This is going to stay black, and that is going to basically stay with the patina that it has right now. So in order to kind of get the tape down into all those corners, just going to use something kind of pointed like an ink pen. That way I can also kind of see where I'm going if the ink continues, but if not, I know that I'm following it pretty good. And I'm just going to do that to all the letters. I find it strange how different we all are as humans, you know? My cars are never the fastest, the coolest, but I do pride myself on taking attention to little tiny details like that. I know it's not much, but it's kind of my thing. I will take my time on a badge or a stripe or, you know, something like that, but the bigger stuff I'll just rip it off and keep going. If you watched episode 1, you know that I'm not always the most careful. So let's hope that as I cut these out, I don't accidentally hurt myself very badly. I'll see you in a few minutes, and hopefully with no cuts on me. A really fun aspect of this is that I don't have proper depth perception. I used to always be nearsighted, which was great for this kind of detail work. But then I had a cataract in my left eye from a traumatic incident when I was younger. In fact, you can often see it if I'm outside. One pupil's bigger than the other. So I had to have cataract surgery, and we wanted my vision to be close, but because of the weird pupil, it came out not close. So now I don't have proper depth perception, but I can see far with one eye and close with the other. It's handy sometimes. Yes, I am the same guy who painted a fender in 5 minutes and just spent 15 doing that. But if you take your time, all your tape will lie nice and pretty. Now I can scuff that and spray it up. You don't have to strip the chrome, although that would be helpful, but just kind of get it looking a little bit like brushed metal with some fine sandpaper, and hopefully it'll stick. And if it doesn't stick, that's what they make more spray paint for. It just dawned on me that I got almost nothing done on Altimageddon today, like nothing of real substance. I did get a bunch of stuff pulled apart, which is handy, but then I had to put some of it back because I changed plans. I did want to show you something cool in this car though before we end the video. The previous owner put the SER tails on it. I like that quite a bit, especially since the front lights are eventually going to be pulled off, and I'm going to black the housing on there as well. But let's take a quick little walk around as to where we are today. What did I get done? So the bumper's still off. I am working on the emblem and the grille. We got our logo on the front. A little bit of, yeah, I mean a little bit of paint. I managed to hurt my back today. That's really the lesson of the day, is if I do this all day, and especially if I don't have a plan and I keep having to undo things, I'm gonna hurt my back. So let's hope that tomorrow my back is good enough to come back out here and do some more. I want to do some specific things. First off, I want to finish ripping stuff off of the car that does not need to be on it, like these really nasty hubcaps, and definitely a few things under the engine bay as well. We do not need AC. Power steering is going to stay for now. Probably going to rip out the washer tank. There's a bunch of other stuff that can go under there, and we're going to rip it out. So that'll be the next one. Take care, guys.